the Dolphins. And stepping into the batter's box to lead things off for the Rams here today, Stephen Carpenter getting the start again at first base for VCU, who enters this game 8-6 on the season. Jacksonville with the loss last night, now 7-9. Austin Temple delivers, and a swing and a miss on a fastball tipped into the mitt of catcher Jacob Southern. At 1 o'clock on the dot, we are underway here on a Sunday. And a fastball misses up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carpenter, who against Jacksonville yesterday also hit leadoff, went 0 for 4 in that contest, the 1-1. Lifted in the air down the right field line. Giving chase the right fielder Flowers. He'll run out of room as that one lands beyond the dugout out in right. Jacksonville's defensive lineup here today. Langston Prova getting a second consecutive start out in left field. Ruben Samayan back in center. Elias Flowers, who got the initial part of last night's game off in right, is back in the starting lineup. With Anthony George down at third, Dakota Jalila at short, Scott DeBrule at second, and Christian Coypel back at first base after a pinch hitting appearance last night, but not starting the game at first. Jacob Southern doing the catching, and he frames up a fastball in the outside corner, and Austin Temple starting off right where he has left off here the last couple of weeks with a strikeout, looking to begin things here today.
Yeah, really good job there by Austin Temple, coming out the gate, attacking the zone. An aggressive hitter. Carpenter was that first at bat, first pitch of the game swinging, but Temple got ahead 1-2 and buried him with the fastball in the outside corner.
Austin Temple has been sensational here so far this season as he sets and delivers the first pitch to Paul Witt and misses just low at 89 for ball 1. Temple, ASUN Pitcher of the Week 2 weeks ago for his performance at Southeastern Louisiana, win on a Sunday. The 1-0 is a fastball high for ball 1. And he followed that up last week with arguably another ASUN Pitcher of the Week type performance, outdone by his own teammate Trent Palmer, who ended up winning the award. 6 innings for Temple last week with a career-high 8 strikeouts. The 2-0. Slap to the left side. It sneaks past George, backhanded deep in the hole by Jalila, but he loses it on the transfer. And a one-out single for Paul Witt, an infield single for the first hit of the ballgame.
Yeah, it's one of those, as a defender and as a pitcher, you kind of just shrug your shoulders, move on to the next guy. I mean, it was a hands-out swing, roll over to the left side, a little too far to the left for George, and just in that no-man's territory between short and third.
Runner on first with 1 out here in the first. Tyler Locklear, the third baseman. First pitch to him is a fastball that misses downstairs for ball 1. Temple has gone 6 innings in all 3 of his starts this year, all coming on Sundays. Has earned the win in consecutive starts after taking a tough luck L in the opening weekend series. Just misses up high this time at 89, and it is 2-0 to Locklear.
Locklear not really happy with the umpire right there. He looked like he was stepping in the box kind of late. Temple had already come set. He tried to give a time call to the umpire and was not granted that. Wasn't ready for that pitch and kind of has some words after the pitch crossed the plate.
Well, he got a call in his favor on a very close pitch anyway, so maybe it balanced out as a slider misses outside, now 3-0. Temple hits the rosin bag before climbing back onto the rubber. Runner on first, 1 out here in the first. Temple behind on Tyler Locklear, the right-handed swinging third baseman. The 3-0, and he misses low, and ball 4 drawn by Locklear, and he walks. So runners at first and second here for VCU in the top of the first inning.
Number 12, Brendan Henson.
A strikeout, a hit, and a walk, and VCU threatening. Rams did not score their first run against Jacksonville until the 5th inning yesterday.
And this is where we've seen Austin Temple, the 2020 Austin Temple, a completely different guy than what he was in his freshman year, 2018, with runners at first and second, bases loaded. This is where Temple has shown a lot of maturity this year and settling down. And
First pitch swinging, high fly ball out into deep center field. Tracking back on it to his left, Samayan makes the catch. Tagging up at second, Witt. He heads down to third. Hits the cutoff man behind the bag at second, Jalila, to keep the runner at first base. A long fly out for Brandon Henson on the first pitch he sees. Advances the runner down to third. Runners at the corners, now 2 outs here in the first.
Right fielder number 19, Jack Schroeder.
So it's up to Jack Schroeder to try and drive in a run in this opportunity in the first for VCU. Schroeder yesterday came off the bench as a pinch hitter against Jacksonville, went 1 for 2 with a strikeout. On the year, hitting .381, is driven in just 3. First pitch he sees, checks his swing on a slider down low. They'll appeal down to first to see if he went around. He did not. And a ground ball hit toward short. Off of 2 hops, Jalila scoops, tosses underhand the short way to Jabrul at second base, forcing out the final out of the inning. So Temple making his 7th start of the season. He's just 5 for 20 of the young year. First pitch swinging, ground ball, and it is knocked down by Koipel. Picked up barehanded by Jabrul, throws on the run to Temple, who went over to cover, but Vey beats it out. And 2 hits for VCU today. Neither one of them have left the infield.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting play. It was a tough play, first of all. Koipel sliding to his right. Looked like it hit off the tip of his glove, maybe his bare hand. Rolled to Scotty, who had the whereabouts to come make a bare hand play and made a great throw. Temple did his job, got to the bag in time. The runner just beat it out. I mean, solid effort defensively there by the Dolphins, but, just unlucky.
Now out of the stretch, Temple delivers a bunt offered by Josh Simon, the catcher, and he fouls it off to the left side.
Tell you what, the Rams are aggressive today at the plate. They're almost, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 batters now have swung at the first pitch. They've seen first strike they've seen. So Temple's definitely got to make sure he's not leaving anything too much over the plate early in counts.
Throw over to first to check on the runner. Vey dives back in safely. Has not attempted a stolen base this year. We saw some rather bizarre base running last night from Illinois State that ran themselves into outs 3 different times last night on just not being present on the base pass. The 0-1, fastball runs away for ball 1. There was one time where a guy hit a single, rounded first, and got picked off behind on the throw coming back in. Caught down a rundown. Another guy took an ambitious turn around third on a base hit toward the left side that Dakota Jalila did a great job of stopping from rolling into left field. The 1-1. Fly ball out into right field. On the run, Flowers headed toward foul territory. Still watching, and that one lands into the VCU bullpen.
Cheddar's foul ball.
A third. Jalila threw a ball away to first base as he tried to get maybe a little too ambitious on an excellent sliding stop deep in the hole, but the ball caromed so nicely off of the railing protecting the visiting dugout right back to Jacob Southern that he was able to scoop, throw down to second, and they had the runner dead to rights halfway to the bag at second base as he tried to advance on the throwing error. And there was a pickoff. Illinois State won the game, but probably not feeling too great about the base running at the end of it. At least it's one you can laugh off maybe after the fact. Fastball misses high, 2-2. You say, boy, guys, we weren't good in that regard, but at least we were good enough in the other regards to win the game. You hate to lose a game because of those mistakes, because then they just magnify.
And now they have to run at practice next week. Not punishment running, just they have to do some base running, and that just adds to the running on the day.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball stays up. Full count for the first time today to a hitter. Runner on first, nobody out here in the second for VCU. Wind starting to billow in from left field. Time called by Josh Simon. Spit on the batting gloves, rub them together, adjust the strap on the left one. Now he'll get back into the box. Temple turns and throws over to first again. Simon, also a pinch hitter against Jacksonville in the first time these two teams met yesterday. Reached base one time, ended up coming in to score a run, also struck out. Payoff pitch, grounded toward third base. Sliding, George has a hard time picking it up, sticks with it, throws on to first, and gets the out. Anthony George sliding to his left, knocked the baseball down. First reach down with the bare hand to pick it up was unsuccessful. Second was, and a rocket throw from the catcher playing third base over to first just in time to retire Josh Simon. And that is a big first out of the inning because it goes one out, runner at second instead of two on with no one out.
Yeah, really good play there by George. It's a hard hit baseball right to his left. He was able to get the glove on it and then, stayed underneath his feet. Got, kept control. He did kind of bobble it for a second, but he could have easily, just kicked that ball and never picked it up or threw it away.
First pitch, bunt shown by Brett Young, the center fielder, and he pulls the bat back on a pitch that misses up and in. That's one of the times you're glad to see a catcher out there running on the base paths.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, they're used to on those dirt balls with 2 strikes. They got to block it, get up, find the ball, find the bag, get the, that literally looked like he was blocking a ball on a drop third strike. So, great job by Anthony George there.
Young calls time. Well, yes, definitely good to have a catcher over there at third. I was saying Simon not the fleetest of foot.
Oh, well, yeah, that helps.
I think we saw that on display as well.
That helps too.
Two 2-0 the count after Temple misses away with another one to Young. Brett Young out in center field again here today. 0 for 4 yesterday with a pair of strikeouts against the Dolphins. Runner at second base with 1 out. Wind's starting to pick up now. 2-0. And Temple locates with the strike on the outside edge at 92. VCU has had a runner in scoring position each of the first 2 innings. Austin Temple with his jersey and his pants flapping in the wind, standing on the mound. Kicks and deals the 2-1 and bends in a curveball for strike 2.
It's one of those days where you, as a fan, you're going to look and see, hey, where's the wind blowing? And you look at the American flag out in center field, and you're like, wait, it's not even moving.
Right.
It's going over the trees, and it's coming in from left.
2-2 pitch, another curveball. This one fouled off by Young to stay alive. Yeah, there's times in which you see the wind and the flag's moving, but you probably don't see the effect on the field so much. And today's one of those where the wind is a little bit lower. The 2-2. Off the hands, fouled over to the right side. A pinch hitter standing on deck for VCU here in the second inning. Liam Hibbets, who you noted when we got the lineup card, wasn't in the starting lineup. Arguably the best player for this VCU team, an outstanding hitter, preseason All-American. Started a DH yesterday against Jacksonville, and he's already on deck, looking like he's going to hit for Alex Aguila. The 2-2. Downstairs with the fastball, and the count to start the frame. Carpenter struck out, looking his first time up. The 1-0. Temple paints the outside corner at 79 with a slider here. And it's a ball and a strike on Carpenter. 2 hits for VCU so far, just 1 for Jacksonville. No runs in this ball game as a fastball misses low. 2-1. An adventurous, scoreless game, though. We've seen both teams push runners into scoring position through the first 2 innings and leave them there, with some missed opportunities and some interesting calls. The 2-1 pitch grounded toward the left side. Sliding stop made by Anthony George at third. Up to his feet. Throws on to first. And an easy play throw-wise for out number 1. Carpenter out by several steps. Here to start The third.
Number 2, Paul Witt.
Brings up Paul Witt. Base is empty, 1 out. Witt singled his first time up, advanced all the way around at third, but was stranded there. Temple sets and delivers and misses low and away with a fastball to begin the at-bat. Witt now at shortstop after starting the game at second, with the interesting switch here early in this game for VCU, the 1-0. And a slider got away from Jacob Southern, 2 balls and no strikes. Overcast here today in Jacksonville. Temperature warmer than yesterday, sitting in the low 60s right now. The 2-0. And that misses up and in at 89 for ball 3. Going to warm up here in Jacksonville over the course of the next several days. 75 tomorrow, into the 80s the rest of the week, with the Players' Championship coming in this week as the 3-0 pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. I'm sure that golf fans are excited about those temperatures. I know that's always a concern with the tournament moving back to March last year. The 3-1 hit back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Paul Witt with a 2-hit day. And he gives VCU a 1-out base runner here in the third. Brings up Tyler Locklear, who walked his first time up.
Number 28, Tyler Locklear.
Temperatures in the 80s. I mean, at that point, you're starting to look at what it was like most of the time when the event was held in May. And it doesn't look like there's a ton of rain in the forecast either later in the week, which will be nice as well. Of course, the big news surrounding that, Tiger Woods announcing this week that he would not participate, as the first pitch curveball just misses up for ball 1 to Locklear, which is always unfortunate. I mean, the Players' Championship hails itself as the best field in golf, and even if Tiger's not playing quite the Tiger levels, he is a name that draws a lot of interest, has won the event before, generally plays pretty well at Sawgrass, as Temple locates into the inside corner this time at 79 to even the count of 1.
Yeah, I got the opportunity last year to go to the Players on Sunday, which was awesome. And I followed Tiger. He wasn't in contention for anything last year, but I got to follow him for a couple holes, and you know, just pretty cool when you get to watch that guy.
The 1-1. Fastball that slipped out of the hand of Temple and misses high and in. 2-1. Runner on first, 1 out, no score here in the top of the third. Yeah, a cool event. I mean, one of the premier events here on the First Coast every year. 2-1 pitch. And he bends in another breaking ball, this time for strike 2.
It's like a calmer Florida, Georgia with golf.
Yeah, I have not been since it returned to March. Obviously, just did one time last year. We were up in Greensboro this time last year for the event. And, you know, I know that it was I didn't know how much of a party it was compared to years in the past. The 2-2, well done by Temple as he dots the outside corner with another breaker for strike 3 called. That is his third strikeout of the ball game. He sits down Locklear for out number 2 here in the third. Runner on first. Here comes Brandon Henson to the plate.
Yeah, really good job there by Temple, mixing it up. He obviously had Locklear guessing. He broke off a nasty curveball, 2-2. It seemed to be pretty over the plate. It didn't look like it was a 50-50 call, and just got Locklear guessing.
Check on the runner at first. Back in safely, Paul Witt. This year with Jacksonville at home next weekend against UNCG as another throw over to first. Dolphins playing so many games at home this year, which is, a really nice thing when it comes to just getting comfortable. For me, it's less time on a bus, so I will always appreciate that. First pitch here into Henson, and a slider called a strike.
You mean to tell me you don't appreciate the 8-hour ride sitting in a crammed bus with 30 other guys?
I do get a seat to myself, so that's a huge plus. But, after those long bus rides with football season, turning into the long bus rides with basketball season, now into the long bus rides with baseball season, you get a little tired. I'm not as young as I used to be, Chris. I ain't as young as I once was. The 0-1. Fastball away. I used to be able to sleep really well on buses, too, when I was younger. These days, I don't know. I got to take some sort of a sleep agent, it feels like, to help me out.
My first couple years, I was always excited for road trips. Thought it was so much fun.
1-1. Stays up with a breaking ball.
I actually had trouble sleeping on buses my first couple years, but by my 5th year, 1, I hated bus rides. I just wanted to stay at home all the time. And 2, I was out before the bus left John Sessions Stadium.
Yeah, I usually have a easier time sleeping on the way out than the way back. I don't know what it is. The 2-1. Another curveball located on the outside corner of the right-handed swinging Henson for a strike, 2-2. Tell you what, the ones I had the easiest time sleeping is those Tuesday afternoon trips to Tallahassee. You're going out to play fam. It's warm on the bus. Next thing you know, you eat a sandwich or whatever the box lunch is, and I'm catching some shut-eye on the way out there on that 2.5-hour drive. The 2-2 pitch. Tries to locate a fastball on the outside edge. Doesn't get it. Full count.
Those were actually the bus rides I didn't sleep on.
So you and I, we've discovered are polar opposites when it comes to sleeping on buses.
I definitely got sleep on the long ones, but the ones to Gainesville and Orlando and Tallahassee, normally I would just, find a video or, something to watch, maybe rewatch the game if it was on ESPN.
Payoff pitch, swung on and missed on another curveball up and in on Henson.
Credit to Coach Hayes for scheduling a 4-game set with an extra game on Friday. On the weekend, you lose an hour of sleep.
First pitch curveball into VCU's Jack Schroeder, called a strike from Austin Temple here to start the 4th. Yeah, I tell you what, I woke up this morning cursing daylight savings time. The 0-1. Fastball down and away.
Yeah, I didn't feel it so much this morning. I thought I actually kind of forgot about it until I got in the car and the clock was wrong. I have a feeling tomorrow's not going to be a great day, Scott.
The 1-1. Curveball again on the inner half for a strike. I went to bed last night, and all I could do is think about it. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going, oh, it's midnight, but it's actually 1. This is crushing me right now. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Another breaking ball. Southern can't find it, though. Picks it up. Tosses high onto first. Coypel keeps the toe on the bag and just gets the out for out number 1.
Yeah, that was all right. That was a little floater over the head. Beat the defender. Corner of the end zone.
Well, sometimes you got to drop it in over the defense, and that's exactly what Jacob Southern did there.
Coypel got both feet in. It's a touchdown.
Well, college, so you only had to get 1.
Oh, yeah, you got 1 foot in.
And he got 1. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Austin Temple. Or 6th. That's the 5th, excuse me. High fly ball out to right field. Flowers going back on it. Makes the catch with his back against the wall to take away a hit from Hunter Vey, who hit one deep out to right field. That was an aggressive approach again from Vey, who swung at the first pitch his first time up and singled. Second time, he flies out to deep right. And there are 2 quick outs here in the 4th for Austin Temple.
Yeah, Hunter Vey must be seeing the ball well. He's seen 2 pitches. He's swung the bat 2 times and hit the ball well both times.
2 outs, bases empty. Josh Simon, the catcher, check swing on a first pitch slider, called a strike.
Told you it was a good day to hit. Cloudy, relaxed eyes. It is that awkward sunlight right now where you don't know if you need sunglasses or not.
0-1, fastball runs away for ball 1.
These were the tough days for me because I always had sunglasses on during the day and I never knew if I needed them or not. It's like I put them on, it was too dark. I took them off, it was way too bright.
1-1 swung on and missed on a fastball at 93 away from Simon that time. Temple looking for a quick inning here. Most of the Dolphin fielders do have the shades on today. Flowers and Samayan rocking him. Provit's got him on top of the hat. Jalila has him on at short. The 1-2. And a fastball runs outside. My favorite is always the sunglasses on the top of the hat of the night game. You know, just in case the sun pops back out at some point in the 6th inning, you're ready to go. The 2-2. Down in the dirt, laying off Simon, and the count runs full.
Yeah, I got worn out by our former assistant coach, who's now Florida Gator coach, Chuck Duraleman. I think I did that once, and I just kind of put him on top of my head and left him there.
Payoff pitch, and Temple just misses low, and a walk with 2 outs to Josh Simon extends the inning for VCU.
And I never did it again. Just even your own team heckles you. They're asking you if it's bright outside and it's 8 o'clock at night. It's not the greatest feeling.
Runner on first with 2 outs. Second man walked today by Austin Temple, and here is Brett Young, who struck out his first time up. The righty takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball 1. Temple was well on his way to a really fast inning, and this one, after losing Simon after getting ahead of him, he's now behind on Young as well. The 1-0, and he misses low with the fastball again. Crosswind still blowing here at John Sessions Stadium from left out to right field. Probably kind of in from left field, if you will, actually. The 2-0. Temple paints the outside corner that time at 92.
And the flag is starting to give us some indication. Kind of.
This has been one of the windiest years I can remember so far for JU baseball. 2-1 pitch. Tries the slider on the outside corner and misses away. It just feels like wind has had an impact on just about every game that Jacksonville's played at home this year.
Yeah, and that comes with the months. February and March here are those probably the 2, I would say, worst weather in our opinion as Floridians that we get all year.
Check over to first. Yeah, by late March, early April, you're really kind of settled into the really nice days here. I mean, it's the time of the year that I think is the best to live here in Northeast Florida. Sunny most of the days, not too hot yet. You can throw the windows open. 3-1 pitch. And fastball misses low, and that is back-to-back walks issued by Austin Temple here in the 4th, and a runner moves into scoring position for VCU as they try to tie this game up in the top of the 4th.
And I'm sure some families that are listening on the Virginia Commonwealth side are sitting here rolling their eyes as they still are running the heat up there in North.
Tell you what, I ran the heat last night and the last 2 nights here in Jacksonville.
No,
my apartment, and I don't keep it warm. I mean, I keep it at 64, and I needed the heat to get it to 64 the last 2 nights.
What kind of insulation do you have at your apartment?
It's just old and...
I just turn mine off. It usually stays on this time of year. Turn the whole thing off, and it stays right around 70. Some nights it gets a little colder.
What floor are you on?
Second.
Yeah, I'm on the 2nd floor as well.
Yeah,
second of 2.
Okay, I'm on the second.
So I'm not like
second of 3.
I'm not boxed in.
I'm insulated. I'm insulated.
Yeah. First pitch is a curveball swung on and missed by Hibbets. Yeah, so my apartment gets hotter in the summer and colder in the winter. Tell you what, it is difficult at times to keep that thing cool with the sun just beating on the roof all the time.
And that's, I'm glad I picked, I didn't really pick the 2nd floor. I got the 2nd floor because I'm insulated, so the electric bill stays down.
The 0-1 misses down and in.
As much as it can in the summer.
Right. And it's tough.
I tell you what, my first time moving into the apartment, not a good month is July to have your first electric bill of your life.
No.
I was in for a rude awakening.
My first in my apartment was in August, and it was a very similar story.
Yes. I called my parents. I was like, did I do something wrong? Do I have to unplug things?
What is this number? Pickoff move back to second, and just back in safely. Josh Simon on a really nice move from Temple, and Jalila snuck back in behind him, put in the tag, and it was bang, bang at the bag. Simon nearly picked off. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners at first and second. And a 1-0 game, Jacksonville leading in the 4th. Slicing fly ball out into left field. Provitt jogging in on it to his right. Settles underneath. Makes the catch. Inning over. And Austin Temple, he's been a Houdini here. Austin Temple back to work. His first pitch. A fastball for a strike at the knees. 90 miles an hour to the leadoff man here this inning and in the order for VCU, Stephen Carpenter, who's 0 for 2 today. Temple sets, kicks, and fires the 0-1. Ground ball hit to the left side. 2 steps to his left, fielded between the legs by George. Guides it on to first for out number 1. Brings up Paul Witt.
Shortstop number 2, Paul Witt.
Witt today has been as good as anybody here at the plate. 2 for his first 2 at the plate with a pair of singles after he went 1 for 4 against Jacksonville yesterday. Witt also had a pair of hits against Illinois State in their first game of the weekend on Friday afternoon. First pitch from Temple, and Witt thought about it, does not offer at an 89-mile-an-hour pitch that missed just a little bit in to the shortstop. The 1-0. Curveball, a little low. Ball 2. Temple is throwing his 80th pitch of the afternoon here and misses away with a fastball. And he has thrown more pitches here through his first 4 1/3 as he catches the outside corner with a fastball for a strike here than he has at any point before this season. He has really made his hay being efficient. Threw 83 pitches against West Virginia, 96 against Austin Peay. It's the most he has thrown this year. 3-1. Curveball that was dropped by Southern. Might have been strike 2 if he had held on to it. And that was in a very similar spot to what has been called a strike here much of the afternoon, but instead it's ball 4 to Witt, who's on base for the 3rd time today. And with 1 out, VCU has a base runner. Stop me if you've heard that before.
Yeah, but we touched on it there in the first inning. You talked a little bit about it in the second with Austin Temple. It seems like something he's just used to at this point of giving up a runner and then just settling in the stretch.
Yeah, he's almost better out of the stretch today. As he works to the stretch here, ground ball towards short. This could be 2. Jalila relays on to DeBrule. On to first. 6-4-3 double play right on cue. Temple gets the pitch he needs. Hits here today. 3 each. Henson so far today 0 for 2. The fly out and a strikeout. First pitch swinging. He shoots one back out into center field. Charging on it. Samayan lays out and secures it for out number 1. Full extension charging in. Ruben Samayan with an excellent play out in center field to rob Henson of a base hit to lead off the 6th.
It all starts with the read off the bat. That ball's hit right on the nose, and the toughest ball to read as an outfielder are the ones that are hit right at you, because you don't really get a feel for, is that over my head or is it hit hard? And Samayan, one of the best to do it, right now, and his 4th year of experience out in center field, he read that right off the bat and got a great jump on it.
First pitch inside corner, called a strike to Jack Schroeder. I would argue that is the biggest asset that Ruben Samayan has out in center. I think he's an elite ball tracker.
Oh, yeah.
And because of that, he gets such great jumps. 1-0-1 pitch misses low for a ball. And while he is quick, he's not necessarily fast per se, but he's a guy that gets where he needs to go in a hurry and generally reads the ball right the whole way. And because of that, he has been great in center field for 4 years now. Curveball called a strike on the inside corner, now 1-2 to Schroeder.
Yeah, I wish we could get one of those, like ESPN or whatever, and the Amazon, I'm talking about, where they get the route efficiency.
Yeah, something like that. 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the left side. Charging in on it. George fields it level with the bag at 3rd. Throws over to 1st and beats Schroeder by a step for route number 2.
Yeah, that's something that Samayan, he already had that when he got in, came here to Jacksonville. He already had that ability. He's good at reading the ball, tracking it, but over these last years, it's automatic. I mean, he, off the crack of the bat, he's always got a good step on it. So credit to Ruben, obviously puts in the work, and credit to the coaching staff for putting him in the right position as well.
Here's Hunter Vay. The designated hitter takes ball 1 outside. The 1-0. Fouled out of play to the left side. Ooh, that nearly broke another light as it bounced off of the light pole to the left side and carried him back onto the field.
Hayes might install nets on these lights to
try and keep them from any more of them from biting the dust.
That or he might just start hitting balls at the lights so he could
just knock all the glass out.
Just say, hey, we need new lights.
The 1-1 fouled straight back.
That's another Cheddar's foul ball.
Force somebody's hand in getting us new lights.
Paging Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes, your opening day center fielder. The 1-2. Off the end of the bat, blooped over towards shortstop. Into shallow left goes Jalila. He secures it, and there you go. A 1-2-3 inning for the first. With a breaking ball high to Josh Simon, the catcher, ball 1. He is 0 for 1 today with a walk. The 1-0. And Simon takes a really nice-looking slider there from Temple that missed perhaps a little bit low. 2-0. Temple with the subtle shake of the head as he climbs back onto the rubber there. Sets, steals the 2-0 pitch. Simon grounds one foul over to the Jacksonville dugout. Duncan Hunter threw that one left-handed for some reason when he picked it up. And showed why he's not left-handed. The 2-1. Ground ball to third. It's been a busy day for George, who somehow picks one at third on a wicked hop and rifles across the diamond in time for out number 1. My goodness, that one leapt up at the last possible moment on George, who just pulled the glove up to his left shoulder to snag it after he was ready to take that one between the legs. Nifty play by the redshirt senior third baseman for route number 1.
Back to that conversation we had earlier about the catcher coming out of Anthony George. I mean, he basically got his chest in front of it and reacted as if a ball was in the dirt.
Bunt shown by Brett Young, pulls the bat back on a fastball that missed high to start the at-bat.
I mean, that's what you get out of putting a catcher at third base who's athletic as George is. He's fearless over there.
1-0, grounded off the mound. It is Jalila with a nice stop behind the bag at second base. Spinning, throwing, and out number 2 as the Dolphin defense is flashing the leather here in the 7th.
He made that look way too easy, Scott.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
He made that look.
What are the chances you made that play?
No,
you played a little shortstop in your time.
Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna make it, but like if I caught it, it definitely wasn't as easy. Like the ball found my
spinning
glove.
And then somehow throwing it away.
Yeah, no, I mean, or I do it and I make it look a lot harder than that.
You knock it down or something.
Yeah, like I mean, I had a decent glove, but he just made that look like a routine play. I mean, that's Dakota Jalila.
First pitch down and in to Hibbets, who is 0 for 2 today.
I still want to know the story of why he wasn't in the starting lineup. I mean, what was that a mistake?
Hibbets fouls one off. Maybe it didn't feel right before the game, and then, you know, I don't know. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hibbets with 2 outs here in the 7th. Austin Temple throwing his 100th pitch of the day. The 1-1 is slicing foul out of play to the left side, 1-2.
Cheddar's foul ball.
Couple of ground outs here to start this inning.
And this is and this inning, or at least the beginning of the inning, Temple falls behind the first batter, 2 balls, and you might think, oh, you know, maybe he's starting to wear a little bit, and
1-2 down in the dirt with the breaking ball.
And he comes back, 2 strikes, you know, comes back with the 2-0, gets a strike, and then gets the ground out with the help from George. I mean, that's what Austin Temple has been doing all year long. It's, you know, he's just been competing, and let the defense help, and the defense has been phenomenal behind him.
2-2. Tries to frame it on the outside corner with a curveball, just a little bit off. Full count.
But credit to Austin Temple, because all he's been doing, not only today, I mean specifically today, just competing all season long, and today is just the epitome of his season so far, of just just every single pitch and just locking in, and even when runners are on, and he's been finding ways to get out of it and make those big pitches.
Payoff pitch swung on and missed. Temple with his that is called ball 1 to Stephen Carpenter, who is 0 for 3 today. The 1-0. And he locates this time with a breaking ball for strike 1. Temple had never pitched more than 6 innings in a ball game in his Jacksonville career until that tournament game against Stetson, when he goes 10. 1-1. Called strike 2 on another breaking ball. And Chris, you and I both did that game, and my goodness, one of the best pitch games I have ever seen.
Between both sides.
Between both sides. Chris Gonzalez for Stetson. Austin Temple for Jacksonville. The 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, and 2 guys, it was one unbelievable, to watch these 2 guys go back and forth. I believe both guys went all 9 innings, if I remember correctly.
They both went 10.
And Chris Gonzalez was a guy that got hit around by the Dolphins early in the year.
2-2 swung on and missed. Got him to chase down and away, and Temple has his 7th strikeout of the ball game.
Shortstop number 2, Paul Witt.
So he has matched his strike.